Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another AutoCAD video. As in the previous video we have already discussed about creation of spaces for doors and windows, and in this video we are actually creating and designing a door, and we will be fixing different kind of doors here. And let's get started. First of all, when you have to create a door in AutoCAD 3D, I recommend you to create an extra layer of doors 3D. I'm going with here layers. I have already created that layer. As you can see here, there's a layer of doors 3D, and I will be currently working in this layer. And now I have to create a door. For example, for the creation of door, first of all you have to go here at your first of all you have to move it with an orbit command. And if you orbit it, as you can see, there are different kind of different sizes of doors here with different spaces. Now let me check the space of this door. From X it's actually 3 feet, and from Y it's 7 feet. So for the creation of door, what I'm going to do, I'm going back to my you can say front view. So in front view I will go with the command like rectangle. I will specify my base point here, and I will say that 3 feet by 7 feet. So this way you can create a front view of your door. And I am trimming this lower portion here because I don't need this one here. I'm going with the trim command. I don't need this bottom portion. It's not actually going to trim. First of all you have to explode it, and you can delete this line as well. And now you should go with chain command to chain these three lines. J enter. Now actually from because we have deleted this line because we are going to create a frame, and at the bottom side at the plinth level we will actually have no frame at the you have seen many times there's no frame at the bottom side of the door. It is directly connected there with some spacing with plinth level. Now I'm going to create actually a frame for our door. I'm going with offset command, selecting this line to be 3 inches like this. That I'm going to create a line here from here to here, and again click enter from this point to this point. Now what I'm going to do, first of all I have to make a boundary of this frame. Now after that I will have to give this frame a little height. First of all you have to give it boundary. Now if you don't create a boundary, the extrude operation cannot be done without boundary command. So I have actually given the boundary, and I'm actually going with extrude command. I'm selecting this line and select polyline here, press enter, and give it a certain height like 6 inches. And now if you back to your orbit view, as you can see, orbit view, move it a little bit. For example, where's my door? Here is it. So I'm moving it. I'm seeing different kind of details. As you can see, the frame, actually we have drawn a frame for our door. Now we can make some changes. For example, now we are actually going to create a wooden door here inside the frame. Now again we are going with the rectangle. We are selecting these end-to-end points, end-to-end. When you're selecting end-to-end points, a rectangular selection will appear. Now we have actually selected these points. We have to make the boundary of this rectangle as well, because we are concerning with extrude command. We have to create a boundary, and now we are going to extrude this rectangle as well. And again I'm going with extrude. I'm going to selecting this rectangle and press enter, and I will go with like 3 inches, you can say. Within frame I have now I'm going with orbit command here. Now if we move, as you can see, this is actually a structure for our door with here's the frame of our door. You can see different kind of details, and this is actually not a wooden material. Now if I wanted to add different kind of materials, if I wanted to add opening panel of the door, I will have to go with the materials command at the bottom side. For example, I will click here and I will go with MAT, press escape, material, Now here you can see there are different kind of materials, wooden materials, steel material, generic, ceramic, different kind of materials are here, and at the upper side you can see there are different kind of material as well. At the upper side there will be material which we have used already. So first of all I'm going to select that object. Now I want this material on my door, for example, wooden material, it should be wooden, this wood material. As you can see, if I click this material, the material has been applied to our door, as you can see. Now if I wanted to apply any material from at the bottom side, as you can see there are different kind of things at the bottom. For example, first of all you have to select your door and click on this one and click on this option. As you can see, if you click, the material actually has been applied to our door. As you can see, this is actually a wooden material. And now in case if we want also a wooden material for our frame as well, select the frame, go for materials, and see this, make sure that the material should be wooden, and click this option. Now as you can see, the wooden material has been actually provided to our door frame, and also we have a wooden door at the center. Now if in case if you have different kind of textures which you have already downloaded from the internet, there may be many kind of free material. There are actually many kind of free material in our internet, free textures of doors, free textures of grass, these kind of things. And if you wanted to apply anything to there, first of all you have to go with the simple one. Click this first one here. You can click on any. First of all you have to create a duplicate, and if you have created a duplicate, now uh, go here and edit this material. As you can see, if you go to the edit panel, there will be many kind of options here. For example, I am again going with the, for example, this second one, and I'm going to create a duplicate of this end-to-end. I'm going with this material. I'm going to create a duplicate, and now I'm going to edit this material. If I go with edit, as you can see, there will be different kind of name at the bottom. And if you wanted to change something, you can change it from here. Or if you wanted to apply texture from your computer where you have already saved, click on this name, and it will actually navigate to the place where you have actually saved the file of your texture and apply it here. I don't have actually a file of texture here, so I am going to cross it, and this will be my door. So there are many kind of other changes. For example, if I wanted to apply a conical shape at this door here, I can create it here from here. As you can see, I am going with cone. Make sure that you are working in a front view. Now I am going to give it a bit radius. For example, it should be 3 inches, maybe 3 inches. Enter. And now at the upper side you should have given it a certain height. For example, I am going with the I am going with the top radius command. First of all you have to give it a top radius. It's actually going in the, I'm going not in custom view, you should have to work in your front view. Now again I'm going here with cone, and I am going to press the cone 3 inches. After 3 inches you have to press T because you are working at top radius. Now give it a top radius of, you can see, you can, in this way you can give it a top radius. For example, I am giving it a top radius of 2 inches. And if you have already given it, this actually has been, I'm again going with here 3 inches, and I am going with the top radius, pressing P 2 inches, pressing enter again. So in this way our conical shape has been actually executed. It's not quite visible to you because if we are in front view. If we go to an orbit view, you will see that this type of conical shape actually has been created by ourselves. This is actually for opening panel of our door. Now we have to create an extra object. For example, we have to also create a sphere. We will go with the sphere command here, press enter, press the center point, and if you press it like that, as you can see, there will be many kind of options. Like I'm going with, we have to change the view, we have to need the change it for view. For example, I'm going with this view. Again, I'm going with sphere. Come on, to give it a bit circular shape. For example, I am going with this one. For example, you can say this shape. And now if you wanted to create make it a little bit, for example, smooth objects, press on the smooth object. In this way you can actually make an opening panel for your door. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to moving this one, and you can place it your door wherever you want. Move it from here, and I am, for example, going to find the midpoint here. This is our midpoint, and from the midpoint here will be it. Actually, this is actually placed at the wrong side. I'm going with Control Z operation. I'm going to make group it as a single object. We have to press group command. Now actually if you click on this, you can see that this is actually a single object. Now if I go to move command here, press on this point, and you can press it wherever you want. For example, I am going to move it at this point, because this may create sometimes a problem, but I'm again going with orbit view. I have to change my view. I have to draw a line at the midpoint as well. For example, this is our door midpoint, and this is at our end point. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this one from this point to be this may create problems sometime, but I'm going with Control Z. I'm going to change my view. Like this one. I'm going to move this object from this point to be there, as you can see. Now if you use orbit command, for example, like that, you can see that your object has been already placed, but still it needs a little movement again. First of all, you can also scale your object here. I'm going with scale command. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter, like you can say this one, because it's not much larger object. I'm again going with move command. You can place it wherever you want. I'm going to place it here. Now if I again go back to orbit view, for example, like that, if I move it a little bit like this one, so actually it has got right placement, I think, but still we have to move it at the right side again. I'm again going with this view, and I'm moving it a little bit. For example, press move command, because in AutoCAD the view may create different kind of problems. So again I'm going with orbit command. Actually I think I have executed this operation, so now it's quite good. And now we have actually created a one design for our door. You can create multiple designs. There are multiple material, but our 3D is to only provide a baseline idea in your mind that how things can be done, and I recommend you to do it by yourself again and again. Now I am going to place this door at in my drawing. I'm going to create a group of this door, because we have to copy it many times. I'm going to create a group of this door. I'm going to move it. I'm going to actually going with copy command, and I'm going with multiple copies, selecting my base point like this. Actually we are in the wrong view. First of all, we have to rotate our door. Again we are changing our view. In 3D you have to actually change your view many times, because and now I am going with the rotate gizmo. As you can see here, I am going with the rotate gizmo, and now if you click here, you rotate gizmo, and now you have to select objects, and now I wanted to rotate it through z-axis. The color of z-axis, you can see here, it's actually blue. Now you have to select this blue axis, as you can see here. Select this blue axis, turn on this ortho mode, and click here. Now you have actually rotated 180 degree to your object. And now again I am going to also change my view as well. I am going with this view again from here. As you can see, here is our plan. Now I am going to copy the subject. I am going with multiple copies, selecting my base point like this one, turning off this ortho mode here, going inside my plan. I have to make a one copy of the object as here. This actually has been placed. Now again going back to orbit view, changing my view. This is actually the copy of our object. Now you have to place it anywhere you want. I am going to place it like we say I'm going to copy it multiple copies. I'm going with this point. I'm placing it here. First copy and second one, it will be there. Actually, I think I have placed it at the wrong side. And again going with copy. I'm going with multiple copies, and again I will be placing that object to be there. So in this way you can actually rotate your object, you can draw those, you can add materials, and you can place it wherever you want. But if I will be placing all of these objects randomly, the video gets too long, so I don't have enough time, and I recommend you to do it by yourself as well. Now I am going to actually the design of our main door. If I go to orbit again, you will see that actually our door has been placed at our side, and it has been actually fixed within space, but there's some spacing. As you can see, 3D solid object, and I'm going to move it, select this point, and select the wall. Now it is actually fitted inside our space, as you can see. Now in this way you can actually place your doors at your in your drawing, in your spaces. Now I am actually going with the plan of our new door, where we have to actually draw our this front door here. I'm again going with orbit view here. First of all, you have to see that you have to check your dimensions. I'm going with from bottom side to this point, and it's 10 feet, and at the upper side you know that this is actually 7 feet. So now we have to create a double panel door for our entrance. The height of this door will be 7 feet, and the length of this door is actually 10 feet. I'm going to create a rectangle. Going with front view again, going back to front view, going back with a new door plan, like I'm going to draw a rectangle, selecting my base point to for example I will say 5 feet, 7 feet, because this is the single panel. This will be the single panel of our main door, and I will actually show you that this 5 we will create a door. We will mirror this, and we will create a 10 feet door. This is actually 5 feet. We will actually mirror this door to be there at this side, and we will actually create a 10 feet door for our opening. For example, I am going with this one, and first of all you have to specify your frame. There will be actually, and first of all selecting this door and mirroring it at that time. I am going with the you can say copy command. This is actually a bit easier from here to here. Now you can see this will be actually our main door. So first of all you have to delete this line. You have to create a trim at the bottom line. This will be trimmed. First of all I have to explode this door, X-center, and now you can delete these extra lines which you don't want it at all. Now you can join these lines, as you can see here. First of all I have to you can say I have to make offset of this line to see 3 inches at this side, 2 inches will be good, and 2 inches at this side, 2 inches at this side. Now I am going to add a frame, like I'm going to say that join these all lines, press shift and join these lines. I'm going to create an offset of this line to be 4 inches, you can say. It's actually for our frame. Now I'm going to delete this center line as well because we wanted to create. And now I'm going to put like the object like this one, and also I'm going to create a new line from here to here as well. At the bottom side we have to join these two LVLs and delete this center line and trim these extra lines. As you can see here, there are many kind of extra lines. Trim these extra lines. Now this will be actually the frame of our main door. What we are actually going to do, we are going to make it a boundary, just as we have done in our simple door. We have to make a boundary, ensure our boundary, so this may take a time. This will be our boundary. Now I'm going to extrude that object to be, select this line and select a whole polyline, select the complete object like this. You can also select this subject in that way. Now I'm going to press enter. You can do this, for example I'm going with the 6 inches. Now I'm going with materials command. First of all, before going to material, you have to also draw a rectangle, REC. From this point you have to actually change your view. For example, I'm going with orbit again. I have to change my view a little bit. For example, I'm going with main door. I have to change my view like this. Now we're going with the rectangle command, REC. Select this endpoint and go with this endpoint. Go with this endpoint. And also you have to draw a rectangle at this panel as well. Select this point, this endpoint, from you can say from there, not this point, from there to at the upper side from this point. Now I'm again going to create my boundaries. For example, I have to create 2 new boundaries, like this one will be the first and this one will be the second. Click on enter again, and now you have to extrude your boundaries. For example, I'm going with extrude command. I'm clicking on this polyline and pressing enter. I'm going with 3 inches. Here as well I am going to extrude, selecting this polyline, pressing enter, going with 3 inches. As you can see here, now press orbit again to see that which operation you have actually doing. Control Z, because this is not actually quite right. You have to do it -3, extrude, select this line, press enter. You can say that 3 inches, and if you now it's okay. As you can see here, there's no structure, no extra structure. I am again going extended. There's no extended structure here. Now I am going with materials. Pressing materials command. Now I am giving a material, like press shift. I am giving these both to a steel material, like I am going with metal. This one shall be okay, I think. I'm going with metal material. Now this is not okay for main door. There are multiple designs, but I am going with, again, we are going to change our metal. There's not any kind of structures for metal. I'm not going with their walls. These are actually different kind of metals we are going to give our door. This metal material here, you can see, if I zoom in, now it's okay. And if we wanted to change the structure of door as well, we have to give a metal like this, for example 3D solid, and I'm going to execute this material at our frame. as you can see, in this way you can actually also give the material, this material to be there. So in this way you can actually give your main door different kind of materials. Now I am placing this door at my wanted place. I'm going with orbit command. But if you want to add different kind of details by yourself, you can, but at the time I'm going to placing my door and moving it to my space. First of all, I have to make this door a group. Press on enter. I have to select this door, move this one at my wanted place. For example, I'm moving this door, I'm turning off the ortho mode, and this shall be here. As you can see, again I don't have placed that door at the right side. Again I'm going with move command. I'm going with this point to be there. Now in this way you can actually place your doors for your house, as you can see here. Now that's it for today's video, and in the next video we will be placing windows, and after that we have the remaining portion will be our roof and our floor plan, and after that we will be okay with all tutorial. And thank you.